iFILM, London. iFILM.
My name's Kugan Cassius, this is iFILM Manchester. I'll call it Manchester for you, Joe.
Cheers,
We're in Piccadilly Circus here at Planet Hollywood. I'm with trainer Joe Gallagher. Joe, quite a short press conference there for Paul Smith.
Yeah, listen, short and sweet, like the fight's going to be. It's going to be, listen, I don't think you need the trash talking you see when Murray fought Mitchell. There's respect on both sides, and I think there is here on this side. George Groves' achievement, beating James DeGale, speaks volumes, but I don't think Paul Smith's achievements inside the ring are being given the credit that it deserves. But like I say, on the night, it'll all be put right.
For the boxing neutral, is this a 50-50 fight, do you think?
I'd say so. No, I'd say ever at the bookies, I'd assume would have George Groves a favourite going on current form, and I'd make him the favourite, and that's what we want. We want boxing news. We want the bookies to make it a favourite. It'd make Paul Smith's victory then more sweeter. What
do you think Paul Smith has learnt since his defeat to DeGale a year ago to now? He's had 2 fights in between. Couldn't really tell a lot from them 2 fights. He's obviously fighting someone at the same calibre as James DeGale now in George Groves. What do you think he's learnt in that year?
I think Paul, I remember him losing to James DeGale then, who's in a lot of fighters when they lose, they just go and hide themselves in the room and don't come out. But I remember Paul Smith being in the lobby in the hotel afterwards with his girlfriend and family, and he came out and sat there during the course of the night and had people coming over saying this and this, and that showed me the attitude of the man. He didn't hide behind his defeat, he came out and faced the fans, and I think he's gone away, he's regrouped, he's come back, and I think when he came back, personally, I think his confidence was a little bit knocked. I don't think if he had a bit of a belief, but I do think he has now, and slowly but surely Paul Smith's a different nature of beast than he was then now. He's more confident, he's willing to bite on the gum shield, and he's in love with boxing again. You remember Paul Smith's been involved with boxing for many years, amateurs all over the world. He lost to Pascal by 1 point in the Commonwealth Games, he lost to Durrell by 1 point as an amateur, so he's got great pedigree. He's been over in the Contender Series, he's been over training with Buddy McGirt, he's been around the block and sparred world-class fighters and fought world-class fighters, and I think it's a very like a long career, and DeGale most thought do really want this, and like I say, he's had the change, he's come back, he's been in and around Matthew Macklin's preparations for the world title. They've been together for kids for 8 years, and Paul was in Matthew's corner in Germany, and he's thought to himself, do you know what, Matthew Macklin at 28 reinvented himself, and he's looked at him and thought, I can do that. And to see the way Matthew did against Sturm has given Paul belief, and that's shown in his fights up to now. And I've got Paul going back to what he does best and what made him such an outstanding amateur, and I'm glad that fights have only gone 2-1 rounds, because it hasn't given anyone much hope and nothing to work off, but I'm happy with what he's doing in the gym, and I'm sure on the night people will be able to see that.
A difficult night for him against Paul Samuels after seeing what happened to Stephen. It was quite upsetting to watch him watching that, if you understand what I mean. The cameras had it on Paul watching that fight, and for him it seemed a bit of an aggressive finish to that end. Might have had something to do with what happened to his brother. No,
listen, it was shocking. It was shocking. I went up there, Paul Smith's girlfriend said to me afterwards, how are you? Because it's just like, hang on a minute, I've just had to lift Stephen off the canvas and put him on a stool, go in, get Paul ready, and I think the first punch Paul hit me on the pads with, he nearly broke my hand, and said to him, listen, calm down, we can't be bullying a china shop here. Paul Samuels, he's got to try and take advantage, good fighter, a little bit past his best, but listen, still carries one hell of a whack. And I think what you showed of Paul Smith, to answer your previous question, what's Paul Smith learned? He's learned to be smart and not to be gun-ho, and use his experience of all them years travelling around the world over sparring, and he brought that into effect against Paul Samuels, who went in there, took his time and then executed the finishing shot, which we had been working on in training.
I don't want to take the gloss off Paul's press conference here with George Groves, but I need to ask you about John Murray. Obviously, I spoke to John Murray the other day, and without going too deep into it, he explained that he felt it was a time he needed a change as one of the reasons why that he split with you. What's your outlook on it, Joe?
Listen, I've had Matthew Macklin come to me, Paul Smith come to me, Anthony Crolla come to me, Scott Quigg come to me. So understand fighters need change. I've been very fortunate that I've been on the receiving end of people changing, and we've enjoyed the success. John Murray now has decided that he wants to move on and have a little bit of a change. I was just a bit annoyed last week in the way that it's done. I've still not spoken to John Murray, I've still not had a phone call, and today in Boxing News for him to say I couldn't be hassled with an hour's phone call conversation, that's like, wow, that's like, what, after all them years together, I wasn't worth a conversation with a phone call just to say thanks for everything, this is why I'm going on and move on. Matthew Macklin left in the past, I shook his hand and moved on, never said a bad word. Tony Jeffries. So, but it's just like a marriage, hang on a minute, you need an explanation why. And listen, if John Murray wants to move on, great. Listen, he's a talented kid, he's got huge ability, and if he can go on and fulfil and win that world title, brilliant. I'll be as happy as anyone else is, do you understand? John Murray's only a year younger. I've known my son, I've known John Murray a year less than I've known my son. I've had my son, do you understand? And he's part of the family in so right respect. So it's more the hit that you get from people close to you. What, I didn't think John was like that. What, he didn't even have the courtesy to call you. And that was the thing, when you get people like that all the time, and it just hits you a little bit. And I think after everything I've done, do you understand, I think I deserve that. But listen, everyone has their own way of doing things, and that's John Murray's way of doing things. And listen, onwards and upwards for the kid, good luck with him. And the same with me and my stable of fighters. And that's it. And I hope he does go and win that world title once. But there's a right way and a wrong way of doing things. And the way he's gone around doing it has been wrong. And I'm sure he knows himself deep down in his heart, do you know what I mean, that he was wrong that he did.
All right, well, Joe, thank you very much for talking to iFILM London. Love talking to you, Joe.
Yeah, cheers,
and if you're looking for a heavyweight in your ranks, what do you reckon?
Heavyweight?
Yeah, what do you reckon?
I'll get you down to cruiser in no time, son.
Yeah, listen, I'll pay you a lot of money for you to get me down to cruiser.
Listen, job, let's get it on. The money you're on here with this crap, definitely, son, I'll take it off you.
Oh, by the way, have you got your copy of Boxing Monthly this month?
I have, mate. You've got a double page spread.
I've got a double page spread. Do you want me to sign it? Like I said to Adam Booth, do you want me to sign it?
Had, son. Well done.
Right, well, thank you very much, Joe Gallagher, for talking to iFILM London.
No
Thank you very much.
iFILM London. iFILM London.